Good morning. Hope everyone's doing okay today. It's 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. My name is Mitch. We're coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop, Austin, Texas. It's a Monday morning. We're here today to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Social media, YouTube, whatever floats your boat. We have live chat available. Jump in, say hi. If not, just hang around and we'll see what's going on today. We do have a few things on store. I think one thing we're going to do is talk about getting attention today. That's the focus of today's intro to get us going. Actually, the theme all this week is going to be about content creation and what I call the 5 laws of content creation. And we're going to take one of those laws each day this week. Ooh, as I tighten my microphone. And today's going to be law 1, getting attention. Attention is everything. If we can't get people to watch our videos, if we can't grab them and hold on to them, then we're in trouble. So today we're going to concentrate on law number 1, getting attention. Well, let's see what else we got coming up. First, we're just going to hang out, kind of get caught up on things and see how things are going, get us going. It takes a while, it takes a few minutes for things to kick in, get the energy level up. And I'm trying not to talk too loud again because I'm coming to you live from a coffee shop. This is the Lamppost Coffee Shop, and you can see it's not too busy, but it's getting there. It's not too bad. Usually around 10 o'clock things settle down. People have gone to work, they've come by and gotten their coffee and left. And so things are not too bad right now. Here's my setup. I'm over here against this wall. And it's not too bad. We're in a pretty good location. That is good that we can get in a public location, and hopefully the background noise is not too disruptive. I've tried my best to eliminate as much of the noise as I can. So there's nothing you can do, because after all, you are in a public location. And so if you're going to go live from a public spot, you're going to have background noise. That's just going to be a part of it. You just have to lean into it. Oh, I see I forgot to turn on my light. Let's see. See if that makes a difference. That really does help, doesn't it? You can surely tell the difference. I brought in this LED, portable LED light, and you can really see the difference. So we're just going to hang out for a while and kind of get caught up on things. My weekend was uneventful. It's pretty much hanging out, drinking coffee, and working on some stuff and watching some videos online, as I usually do. I like to watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, see what other YouTubers are doing. And if you're going to start a YouTube channel, that's one of the best things you can do, is spend time watching YouTube, watching what other content creators are doing. So it's not a bad idea to spend a Saturday looking through videos. And I tell you, I came across some videos about the van life, people living in vans going across America. And it's been a lifelong dream of mine to travel across America. As an artist, especially as an artist, I've always wanted to take my paints and my easel and my drawing pad and sort of work my way across the country, painting and drawing and all that kind of stuff that artists do. We can't go a day without creating something, so I thought it would always be fun to hop into an RV or a van and spend a year traveling across the country. And so I've been watching some YouTube videos on the van life. They call it van life, van living. And the van is a good way to go because you can park it much easier than if you've got like an RV mobile home. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a van. I want to buy a van and get it outfitted so that I can travel in it for at least a year and post on YouTube and become a van lifer like many of these folks on YouTube, where they're just traveling across America and seeing the sights and doing things, and once a week posting a video about their excursions, about what's going on. Since I post regularly anyway on YouTube, I might as well join them. So that's going to be on my list of to-dos, and I'll keep you up to date on what's going on with that. Because I think what I've done is I've tried to focus and narrow down things in my life in general, sort of not be so all over the map. I tend to be that way. I tend to be scatterbrained and not be focused on any one or two projects. I may have half a dozen projects going at once. Most of them fail. Every once in a while I'll hit on something that will work. Because I get bored easy. So I need to keep on the move. I need to keep active. I need to keep trying to do things, trying to create stuff. I guess that's the artist in me. The creativity is a big part of my life, trying to create things. And so what I've tried to do is narrow down, I think, focus down the efforts in my own life. And in terms of YouTube, I've narrowed it down to just 3 channels. This channel, Even Rabbits, which is going to primarily be social media. It's going to be in that niche, social media and YouTube. And we will continue to do live streams and do videos, long form, about the life of social media and being on social media and all the platforms, and YouTube especially. And I'm not going to try to do a lot of content on technical stuff, because that stuff is covered by hundreds of other people who are far more technical and far more skilled in that area than I am. So I don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's plenty of that out there. So what I can do with this channel in terms of social media and YouTube is to just record my experience and let you be a part of that and build a community with others who are on social media and are creating content, and we can get together and talk about things and hang out and try to help each other with our journey as we try to build our channels and try to make a living, make it a career, social media and YouTube. So what I want to do with my channel, like I say, is just base everything on my experience as I go along. And that's why I talk a lot about what I'm doing, because I can't, I don't have any idea what you're doing unless you share it with me. All I can do is share what I'm doing in terms of what it takes to do a live stream, and try to do a live stream daily. Now, I know it's crazy to try to come on live every day, Monday through Friday, weekdays. It's a lot of that's a lot of talking. It's a lot of content. But for me, it's therapy. It's a way that I can come in each morning and just share with you what's going on in my work on social media and YouTube, and I can I can sort of build a catalog or record or document my life, and what I'm doing in terms of my social media and building channels on YouTube, etc. I looked at TikTok this morning about going live on TikTok. That's going to be one thing that I'll do here pretty quick, and we'll get together and I'll share with you that journey. Get on TikTok and go live on TikTok and try to sell t-shirts. I've got a t-shirt company and I'd like to maybe sell t-shirts, and I've also got some self-published books on Amazon. So I'm going to try to go on TikTok and set up a shop and go live and sell t-shirts and books that I've written. I don't have an inventory, so basically TikTok shopping is for those who have an inventory, who try to sell things out of their own inventory and ship them out themselves, and it's sort of, you do your own shipping. But me, I don't have an inventory. Everything I've got is print on demand. So it's going to be trying to learn my way around that in terms of adapting TikTok shopping to basically selling things that are on demand. It's going to be sending people to, giving them links to KDP or to where my Amazon books are located, or to my t-shirt shop. So anyway, we'll be playing with that. But that's the kind of thing I want to do, is experiment, play around with the live, because live shopping is the next big thing. If you really want to, as an entrepreneur, make money, live shopping is the coming thing. People going to garage sales, people buying stuff wholesale, buying things cheap and then turning around and selling them on eBay, or selling them on TikTok Shop or what's not. It's all about going live, and we'll take a look at that in the coming days. If you don't believe me, I'll show you the millions of people that are on Whatnot and on TikTok shopping, selling stuff out of their own homes. So there's a lot going on. We're in the golden age of social media and online shopping and media content creation. Really amazing, because all the tools are available cheaply for everybody now. Everyone has access to a camera. Everyone's got access to a microphone. So there's no reason that you can't get online and start trying to make some money using one of these platforms. So, kind of reboot. My name's Mitch. I'm coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop in Austin, and we are just hanging out, seeing what's what. There we go. There's the coffee shop. and the weather's been really hot here in Austin. I mean, really hot, and it continues to be warm. It's going to be like 85 today. So I'm not complaining now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because it's going to get cold soon enough. Well, I'll tell you, we're talking about getting attention today. That's law number 1 of our 5 laws of content creation. Law number 1 is getting attention. So what we're going to talk about here for a few minutes is law number 1 of content creation, which is getting attention, or attention is everything. We've got to get people's attention, and I don't know how to do that. I mean, I'm as confused about that as anybody. But it's the bottom line. If we can't get people's attention to click on our videos, then we're in trouble. I mean, if I can't get somebody to watch my live stream, I'm just sitting here talking to myself, which is okay. But the thing about a live stream, even if no one shows up or watches your live stream, it still becomes a video on YouTube and will be there forever. So, it will be, it'll be on YouTube as a regular video. So people can always click on it later. So a live stream will live on forever, and will live on past the day that you're recording it. So the other thing I like about doing live streams, if we can talk a minute about the positives of a live stream, especially in a public location, is because that's one way to get attention to your live stream, is to do it from a coffee shop, or to do it in a live setting rather than sitting at home. Pick you a public spot where you have access to everything you need: Wi-Fi, electricity, lighting, and with a laptop and a camera, you can go live. You can go live with your iPhone, of course, from anywhere. And if you do it in public, doing a public setting, then that's one way of getting attention. So that's all. That's what it takes. It takes getting attention. We're in an era of getting attention. We have influencers and people making millions of dollars because they've gotten attention. They've gotten eyeballs. So what are some ways about getting attention? Well, when you're talking about your YouTube video, we've got seconds to get people's attention. And that's where it starts, with the thumbnail. That's why that thumbnail is so important. The thumbnail and the title of your video. Because if you don't hook them within that first 3 seconds, then you're in trouble. They just keep passing by. So we've got to grab people. We've got to hook them like a fish. We've got to put a hook in their mouth in that first 3 to 5 seconds. And that's why thumbnails are important. You've got to get people's attention through your thumbnail, and then they'll glance at the title, and the title should reaffirm the thumbnail and continue to set the hook, continue to get them to take a bite. And then once we get them into the video, once they click, we've got 3 to 10 seconds to get them interested. And if they're not, they're just gonna leave. They're gonna continue on. And the algorithm, YouTube's algorithm, is gonna look at these people that will click and then leave and see it as a negative, because it's about duration. It's about getting people on the video and to stay for more than just 2 or 3 seconds. The longer you can get them to stay on your video, the better. And the longer that people continue to watch your video, the more the algorithm is going to push that to more people. So it all begins with grabbing them that first few seconds. The thumbnail and title are your movie poster. They sell the story before it starts. So I mean, you watch YouTube, you watch videos. Put yourself in the shoes of a viewer. How do you go about it? Unless you're looking for some specific help, and you do a search on YouTube and you're looking for some specific information, then a lot of times you're just strolling like I do. You're just getting on there and you're looking at YouTube videos randomly, or they may be around a particular niche that you're interested in. And it starts with the thumbnail. And then you glance at that thumbnail and it grabs your attention. Then you glance at the title. And that title, if that title fits what you're looking for, then you click. And then in that first few seconds of that video, you're going to make a decision. Am I wasting my time, or do I want to stay with this video and continue on? So that's why we talk so much about the thumbnail and title. So many creators, especially new creators, look at the thumbnail and the title as an afterthought. That's the last thing they do. They go out and make the content, and then before they post, they spend half an hour coming up with the title and the thumbnail. When it should be the other way around. You should start with that thumbnail and title and spend time experimenting and thinking about it, giving it some time to try to figure out what's going to be the best title and thumbnail that you can come up with, and then worry about the content, because that thumbnail and title will help you focus on the content. It'll keep your content focused. It'll give you a target to shoot for. And also, the opening, that first few seconds, is talking about curiosity here and emotion. Curiosity and emotion, not just information. People want to feel something when they look at a video. They don't want just dry, straightforward information. They can get that from a book, which is boring as hell. So people look at videos because they want to feel something. They want to have some sort of an emotional reaction, not just dry information. So we've got to figure out ways of making our content cause some kind of positive emotion in the viewer. Viewers decide emotionally first and rationally later. They will know within that first 10 or 15 seconds whether they like the person they see on the video, whether they want to invest the next few minutes in watching the video. If the audio is lousy, they'll leave. If the video is crappy, they may leave. So the quality matters. And if they feel like that they've hit some clickbait, they've been manipulated to click on a video and it's not what they're looking for, then they'll leave. And they'll be mad, which is an emotion. Anger is a big no-no. We do not want to anger our viewers. Don't waste the first moment saying who you are. Show them why they should care. So many content creators begin their videos by saying, "Hello, my name is so-and-so." And you've already wasted time. Show them what the topic is of the video right up front. A lot of creators just get in the habit of repeating the title. First thing out of their mouth, they'll repeat the title. If the title is "Attention is Everything," then the first thing they'll say out of their mouth when that video starts is, "Attention is everything." Or they'll ask a question. Did you know that attention is everything? That's the first thing out of their mouth. So it all starts with that first few seconds. Here's an example. A creator makes a travel vlog. They don't start with, "Hi, welcome to my channel." They open with a cliffhanger, like, "I almost got stranded in the middle of nowhere last night." Then they roll back to the story. So We've got to think intentionally about that first few seconds of that video content, and it's got to tie in with the title and the thumbnail. It's all got to flow logically, and it's all got to be with the intention of grabbing the interest of that viewer. We've got to grab them and not let them go. So, attention. That's law number 1 of the 5 laws of content creation. Tomorrow, we'll look at law number 2, and go from there. So if you have any questions, jump into chat. Let's talk. If you've got anything you want to share with me, stick it in the comments. Just whatever you think is going to be of value. That's what we're trying to do. That's all I can do here is share my experience, what I'm doing, and try to provide some value. All right, so it's all about getting attention. And it is hard, believe me. It is hard, especially when you're starting a channel from scratch like I am. I'm starting basically 3 channels from scratch. And that's part of the fun of it, is to start from ground zero. Now, you can go out and buy a channel that's got viewers already attached to it. You can buy a channel that's already monetized, because you have YouTubers, you've got content creators who have created a channel, let's say, and it's become monetized. And then for a whole list of reasons, they decide they want to get out of it. They want to leave YouTube. Well, they will sell their YouTube channel. And there is a marketplace for that. There is a place that you can go and find these channels that are for sale. So you can certainly do that. You can buy a channel that's already monetized and ready to go, and then hopefully it's got content and a niche that you want to work in. Or not. The other way is do what I do and just start from zero. Just build it from scratch. Just start with no subscribers, no content, just a big flat zero. So, how do you get attention for your new channel? We got to think of some practical ways that we can get attention. In my own experience, the only thing that I know that I can do is just promote the living hell out of it, telling everybody everywhere what I'm doing. And that means going on Facebook. That means going on TikTok. That means going on LinkedIn. That means going on X. That means going on Snapchat. That means going on Instagram. It means I've got t-shirts. I've made t-shirts that promote it. My newest t-shirt, in fact, I just got this last week, is promoting this channel, Even Rabbits. So one thing I don't have, which I wish I had, was a email list. I've never been able to create an email list and send people a regular email once a week on what I'm doing. And that's probably going to be something that I've got to put on my to-do list, because that's important, is to build an email list. That's another way to help get the word out, get attention. So, but beyond that, I don't know what else we can do, because I'm not paying for ads. Paying for advertising on Facebook or Instagram or X, that will come later if it's necessary at all. For new channels, when you're starting to get content and starting to put together your first customers, your first clients, viewers, whatever, paying for ads is not the way to go. It's just too expensive, and it's just not the effective way of building a community. You don't build a community and you don't gain loyal followers by selling ads. So you're just going to waste your money. I discovered that on Amazon when I was selling my self-help books. And I spent a lot of money on ads, and there was a point where I just said, I'm going to back off. And and I had not grown the business to the point where ads were going to be effective. So I'm not going to be doing that to promote my channels. The only thing I can do is try to get the word out. And that's another reason I wanted to go live every morning, not just once a week or once a month or once every 2 weeks. I'm really pushing it hard by going live every morning so that I can use that to help promote my channels, promote my work. Plus, it gives me the experience and it gives me the ability to practice and to focus on my camera work and to focus on my speaking and to focus on my content creation in a much quicker way. I can put in 5 to 10 hours of live online speaking on camera a week, and it's become invaluable, and it's really good experience. So for anybody starting a new channel, I would suggest you go live at least once a week, because it will force you to learn how to look into the lens and focus on one person that's on the other side of that lens. Like you're speaking to one other person. You're like sitting at a coffee table over a cup of coffee and you're just having a conversation. It will help you do that if you go live. It'll help you with your presence on camera. You'll get used to being on camera and you won't feel so weird about it, because it's an unnatural event. It's an unnatural event for a person to talk on camera. We're not built that way. It's uncomfortable, and it's natural to feel uncomfortable unless you do it, and you do it a lot. Then after a while it becomes a lot more comfortable because you get used to it. You become familiar with it, and it becomes much better as you do it. And the only way to get over the fear of looking into a camera and talking on a camera is to just do it. So, getting attention. We've been talking about how to grab people's interest. We've got to provide people value beyond just the things that we talk about in terms of getting people's attention. We've got to offer them some value. We've got to give them some reason to watch our video or to watch our live stream or to relate to us. We want to provide them some value and not waste their time. So that's part of it too. I've had an awful lot of fun on Suno lately, making some songs, creating some songs that are my songs. Since they're created on Suno, I have the commercial rights, and I don't have to worry about copyright. I've been getting hit with copyright strikes, not strikes, but copyright warnings from YouTube when music has been played that has come from either a video critique that I've done or something in the background. And I mean, I got a copyright strike on a video yesterday from my live stream that I was critiquing. That was 6 minutes long, 6 seconds long. There was a 6-second section that the algorithm picked up and gave me a copyright warning about. 6 seconds of a piece of music. And I thought, boy, that's really getting picky. If you can't play 6 seconds of a song and not get away with it, you get a copyright warning, then it shows you how sophisticated the algorithm has become. So my goal is to not have any copyrights at all, any copyright warnings. I want to be copyright free. And so to do what I've been doing is going on Suno, and I pay the $10 a month subscription, and then I create my own soundtracks and my own music on Suno. So I've had all kinds of fun coming up with all kinds of music that I can use. This is music I can use when I'm feeling depressed. Oh, I posted a video and it got no views. What am I gonna do? Nobody's watching my live stream. Woe is me. Woe is me. Is anybody gonna be in chat? Is somebody gonna jump into chat and say hello? Or am I here all alone? Oh my goodness. Something else I've added, which I think will be fun, is some special effects, some sound effects. If somebody says something I don't like, I'm gonna give them a jab. Well, I tell you, I think it's about time. It's about time we run down and take a look at maybe some questions. Let's have a little Q&A. What do you think? Let's have some Q&A. Question number 1. Should I start a second channel or just stick with one? Well, I've got 3 channels that I'm starting, which is not the smart way, but I've been starting and ending and killing channels my whole life, seems like. I posted my first YouTube video in 2007. 2007. That was, what, 18 years ago? YouTube started in 2006. 2005, they've just celebrated their 20th anniversary. So YouTube started in 2005, 2006, 2007. I posted my first video. So that's how long I've been playing around with YouTube. Back then I was traveling throughout the Southwest and doing a travel log, and I was filming stuff, going to art festivals and art shows, and I would post that on YouTube. So I've played around with these YouTube channels for the last 15 years on and off. And so I've got 3 channels. But do you want to start a second channel or just stick with one? My advice for any new, I don't know why I'm giving advice. I keep telling myself to stop giving advice. So let me rephrase that. I'm not going to give you advice. I'm just going to say from my experience, looking back, I say stay with one channel. Unless, I did hear a suggestion yesterday that if you're going to start a channel, you don't want to have both long form and short form on the same channel. Because of the way the algorithm works, shorts can actually hurt the number of views you're getting on your long form. So if you're going to do shorts, make a second channel and make it just clips. In other words, have your long form channel with all your 15, 20-minute videos, and then start a second channel of just clips where you make shorts, and just have that channel as a place where you have all the clips. Make it a clip channel. So in that sense, you could have 2 channels You could have your main channel with your full content, long form, and then you could start a second channel and have nothing but your clips. You could have shorts that you've made from your main channel. And I think that's a pretty good idea. So in the past, I've had both long form and shorts on the same channel, and so I like the idea of keeping them separate because they are different animals. So the 3 channels I'm starting, they're going to all be long form. I'm not going to do shorts. And if I do shorts, then I will put them on a separate channel. I mean, that's just the way it is. Channels are easy to set up. Doesn't take 5 minutes. So that's why you can run a number of channels and it not be too hard on you technically. But where the problem comes in when you have more than one channel is the time that you spend and the focus. It's so hard and so time consuming to create content and to create good thumbnails and titles and to create promotional material and to promote your channel. It's hard enough to do that for one channel. Now, when you do that for more than one channel, it gets to be a problem. In terms of your time, we only have so much time that we can devote to this thing, especially if you're not doing it full time. Now, if you're doing it full time and you see it as a career, then, you know, that's another thing. So should I start a second channel or just stick with one? I would stick with one unless you want to start a clip channel, a channel of shorts. Or if you get to the point where your one channel is so successful and you've become monetized and you started making money, then you could start a second channel and go from there. So now the 3 channels that I have, they're all really connected. They're not totally different. They're all sort of part of my plan. And so it's part of an overarching plan that I've got. I've got an overarching plan that, you know, it's like I've got, this is my plan right here. And I've got 3 channels that are falling under that plan. So they're not scattered in different niches or anything. So, and I'll talk about those 3 channels later. But that's the approach the approach I'm taking. What's the biggest mistake new creators make on YouTube? Let me think about that for a minute. What's the biggest mistake? Probably giving up too soon. So many creators get discouraged when they don't get the views or they don't get the subs, they don't get the reactions, they don't get the feedback. They feel like they're wasting their time and they just don't want to keep going and they quit. And they probably quit too early. So it comes down to your motivations and it comes down to your desire and your love for what you're doing. If you love to make content and post it on YouTube, and if you love social media and want to be on social media, then you won't quit. You will hang around. You will keep going. You'll push through those times when things don't seem to be going well. So perhaps the biggest mistake is new creators, they just don't devote enough time to it. They quit too soon. They don't commit to the long term. And it is a long-term process. We're not talking weeks, we're talking months and years when it comes to creating content on YouTube. So you got to think in terms of the long term, and you've got to be committed along the long haul. So it's going to take time to build channels. Doesn't come overnight, that's for sure. Well, let's see. Should I post even when I don't feel like it? Well, do you see this as a job? Do you see this as a career? Do you take this seriously? Would you show up at your job even though you don't feel like it? Would you continue to go to work on days that you don't feel like it? Probably so. So if you see this as a serious endeavor and you look at it as a job or as a career, as something that you really are going to devote your life to, then you've got to do it whether you feel like it or not. Because I got to tell you, this morning I didn't feel like showing up for this live stream. For whatever reason, I was tired, I was unmotivated, I was discouraged, I wanted to do other things. But I pushed through it, and I set up my kit, and I set up my laptop and my monitor and got my mic out and just decided I'm going to push through it and get her done. So this morning I really didn't feel like it. Now, some mornings I come in and I'm all excited. I'm thrilled. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sit here and talk for an hour. Whether anybody's listening or not, doesn't matter, because I'm having fun. Then there's other mornings like today where I just wanted to do anything but do this. But I pushed through it. So even if you don't feel like it, you got to come to work. That's the bottom line. How do I deal with the fear of being judged online? The fear of being judged online. Well, the truth of the matter is, you're going to be judged online. You have no choice. It's going to happen. It just is. So don't be a sissy. Don't be a coward. Man up. Don't be afraid of being judged online. Judge the judger. Who's to say that you're a clown? Who's to say that you're not very good? Who's going to tell you to quit because you're a loser? You're going to get judged. That's part of being in the public domain. You're setting yourself out there online. You're making videos, and they're going to be judged. People are going to get into comments, and they're going to make fun of you. They're going to make fun of your videos. They're going to make fun of the way you look. So get over it. It's going to happen. Get used to it. You got to develop a thick skin. And you've got to feel sorry for people who spend their time making fun of you. Don't they have a life? Don't they have anything better to do than to go into comments and badmouth you? I mean, come on. So deal with it. That's what I got to say, and I'm sticking with it. All right. We've had some questions. I don't know if we've had any answers or not, but what are we going to do now? Well, looks like according to our lineup, I do have a video I want us to look at. It's kind of an interesting deal. We've got I came across this video. I want you to look at his thumbnail. For new creators, start by experimenting. Find your style and voice by experimenting. How to start as a new creator. Now you'll notice this was posted about 5 months ago, and it's only got 72 views, which is not very good. 72 views over 5 months. This video pretty much died. It's dead on arrival. And we're going to see why it's dead on arrival here in a second. But the thumbnail is actually pretty good. I mean, does it catch my attention? This text has been stuck on there, and it looks like his motorcycle helmet is coming a bit over the text, which is Took a little effort, a little different. That's good. The text is kind of on a tilt, which goes along with the scene. He's on his motorcycle. The title is pretty good. Find your style and voice by experimenting. He used the word experimenting both in the title and on the thumbnail, so that's good. The title and the thumbnail are tied together. They flow logically from one to the other, so I think his thumbnail and title are just fine. Well, let's take a look at the video.
So welcome to another vlog, now from a totally different perspective, because this video or this vlog is all about finding your voice.
Okay, his intro, you'll notice here just within the first few seconds he's already reaffirmed his title and the thumbnail about finding your voice, finding your style. Now he's on his motorcycle and he's got his microphone stuck inside his motorcycle helmet, and so his audio is really muffled. And that's one reason this video failed, is because the audio is so lousy. It's really hard to understand what he is saying. Not only is the audio quality bad, but he's got a real thick accent, which doesn't help. So you add an accent on top of poor audio, and people are just not going to stick around because they're not going to work so hard to have to listen. Now, what could he have done? He could have added captions. I don't know why he didn't add captions at the bottom. That would have been one way to do it. Something else he could have done is gone into Adobe Audition or some other editing software and perhaps enhanced the audio, cleaned it up, made the audio better. But it doesn't sound like he did that either.
Mean by that? In previous videos I talked about finding your niche, and your niche is basically the content, the topics that you want to talk about. And my niche that I want to kind of fulfill with these videos is all about filmmaking, tips and tricks, advice for new content creators on YouTube. And your voice is basically how you want to communicate what you're making, into what niche you're catering to. So for example, if your niche is your vlog, your daily routine, then your voice could be maybe a silent vlog where you just film everything that you want to show on your daily basis. Or your niche is fitness content, then maybe your voice is how many reps you make and stuff like that. Or in this case, and this is what I wanted to illustrate, is my videos now is for new content creators, but in this video my voice is this moto vlog that I've never actually really tried before. So this is totally new for me. I just wanted to try it out, having two action cameras, one on my helmet, an old GoPro Hero 5 Session, it's this smaller one, and the 360 camera on my handlebar, which is the Insta360 1R with the 360 module. Obviously, please always be aware of your surroundings when you're recording yourself whilst driving. And I specifically...
Okay, so he's demonstrating the theme of his video, which is experimenting. He's experimenting here with the new format. He's never done this before. He's experimenting with riding on his motorcycle and using 3 or 4 cameras to get different viewpoints, and has a microphone stuck in his helmet, and he's experimenting. He's playing around. He's trying to see if this is something that is worthwhile. Now here, I do see some captions coming up here. Let's see. he started adding some captions here for some reason. Why he didn't do it earlier, I don't know. He's just starting it now.
Difficult to make entertaining.
I take that back. I know why the captions are there, because I turned the captions on. I screen recorded this video, and in order for me to understand better what he was saying, I turned on closed captions. So that was what I did. He did not add any captions. I did, in order for me to better understand what he was saying. So I remember that now.
You obviously need to be aware of your surroundings, look at everything that is happening, and also you will need to have, well, at least I think you need 2 cameras to make it a little bit more interesting. And that is all that I wanted to kind of talk about to find your voice. And maybe the question now is, how do you find your voice? And that is something that I always kind of mention in these videos, that in the beginning, for all of you new content creators, and basically what I'm doing now, I'm just trying this out. I have no idea if this video turns out well, because I basically jammed the microphone inside this helmet in hopes that everything will hopefully record properly. I connected this to the Tascam DR05, if I'm not totally mistaken, which is an audio recorder. I honked my horn in the beginning of this recording so I can sync both cameras and the mic, and then I will edit this all together, and let's see if this works out. But this,
well, I think he discovered that it didn't work out because it only got 77 views in 5 months. So it was a failure in terms of viewership, but it perhaps was a success in the fact that he experimented with something he had never done before, which is always a good idea. You want to experiment and try things that are new, things that haven't been done before, especially if it's something that's unique and it's unique to your personality. He evidently loves to ride his motorbike, so it's a part of him, part of his personality.
in the beginning you don't have that many viewers, let's be honest. My views on this channel at most have like 200 views, usually around 100 views, and all of you who watch these videos, I'm so grateful and so thankful for all of you kind of listening to whatever I have to say, and it is really cool that you watch this. But then on the other hand, there aren't that many people yet that are actually watching these videos or on my channel, so I feel like I am more or less allowed to make mistakes and to try out some new stuff. And
all right, that's a good example of somebody who has a new channel. It's not that many views, doesn't have that many subs, so he feels like he's a lot more free to experiment and play around because he doesn't have a huge following right now. But I would suggest that you still do this kind of thing even if you had 1,000 subs. Even if you had a popular following, you still want to feel free to make mistakes. That shouldn't go away. That feeling of experimentation and the willingness and the freedom to make mistakes should never leave, regardless of how many followers you
the
get.
same holds true with all of you. Just make these videos, just make mistakes, try it out and see what fits you the best. Alright, I think I was rambling a little bit, and therefore thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked a little bit of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe check out my last video in the...
Alright, very good. So I think he had a pretty good title and a thumbnail, and I think the video was good in the sense that it was an experimentation. That didn't get that many views. His whole channel evidently doesn't get that many views, but all in all, I thought it was a good demonstration of someone who's thinking outside the box, which is something that we can all do. Well, I think we're going to, it's been an hour, and I guess we ought to call it a day. I try to put in an hour unless there's somebody in chat or somebody who's going to jump in and say hi. I wish somebody would jump in and say hi, but that's okay. People are shy. I don't know if there's much else I had on the schedule for today. I've really pretty much done everything I was going to do. So we're just sort of hanging out, and I'm getting flies and bugs flying all over the place. Welcome to Texas. Driving me bananas. At any rate, just to reboot, my name is Mitch. I'm coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop in Texas on a Monday morning. We live stream every weekday morning starting at 10 a.m. and I'm going to do these 10 a.m. live streams for at least 20 episodes, and then we'll see how we're doing, and we may decide to bump it up later in the day. We're trying different times. I started out at 9 a.m., did 20 live streams at 9 a.m., and the 9 a.m. streams went fine, but I was thinking it was a little early, so we bumped it up an hour to 10 a.m. So now for the next, a few episodes, we're going to do at least 20 episodes here at 10 a.m., and then I'll evaluate and kind of see where we go from there. So I think this is my 32nd live stream overall since I began this a few weeks ago. So it's an experiment. It's an experiment. I'm not on a motorcycle, and I don't have a microphone stuck in my head, my motorcycle helmet. But anyway, it's an experiment. I'm experimenting just as that guy was experimenting. So not sure what all we're going to end up doing, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Well, as I said, I've created some music on Suno. Hopefully it'll be copyright free since I own the copyright. I've got the commercial rights to music that I create on Suno. So let's see if YouTube tries to give me a copyright warning on any of the music I've played today. Well, let's see. Is there anything going on up here? I do like Casey Neistat. Casey was one of.
Has probably been trained on by somebody.
Casey was one of the.
Okay with that.
The short answer is doesn't
Casey's one of the
matter.
original
It's not that I don't care.
YouTubers.
Do you care?
My feelings don't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's just happening. It's going to be f***ing good. And if you think that because you made your video by hand, it's going to beat out 1 million videos that are just as good, but were made by AI.
If you had unlimited money, unlimited time, no distractions, what would you be working on right now? I'm Michael Mignano from Lightspeed, and this is Out of Office. Today on the show, I'm hanging out with my friend and possibly the most influential YouTuber of all time, Casey Neistat. Years ago, Casey launched a podcast on Anchor, the company I had previously co-founded. My team and I helped him get his podcast up and running, and we even helped him build a physical set for the show. In the years since, Casey and I have spent many hours talking about technology, creativity, and more recently, artificial intelligence. And that's exactly what we're doing on today's episode. Away from the studio, away from Zoom, and set to the backdrop of Casey's hometown, New York City. Enjoy.
Yo, come down. Yo. What's up, Casey? Hey, Casey. All right, I'll do it. Casey, come down.
Brother, what is up?
It's good to see you.
Me too. Thanks for doing this.
So happy to be here.
Listen, this is the first time I'm doing this, just so you know. So
Really?
I may totally screw this up. Well, I have a show. I do it in a studio, but this is the first time I've done like a New York City as the canvas kind of episode. Like, you pioneered that. New York, I feel like, is a central character in all your videos.
Yeah, I would say like New York City is my muse.
Okay.
I think we're gonna go this way. Good to see you. I think this city, like, I always knew that, like, so much of my videos are about this city, but it didn't really come into focus till I left the city.
Right.
Like, we lived in LA for a
when you were in
year,
LA.
and
You did a few videos in LA, right?
yeah, they all sucked.
Yeah.
They like took away the heart of what, you know, what I feel like was like the driving DNA that flowed through all of my. Look at this place, man.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
It's interesting that here you have Casey, who's one of the most influential YouTubers of all time. He was an original content creator coming out of New York City, and his videos are legendary. Millions and millions and millions of views, and his influence across content creators is unmatched, and yet he still makes mistakes. He moved to LA, got out of New York, lived in LA for a couple of years, and he tanked. His videos, he said, sucked. So here's a guy who arguably is the greatest YouTuber so far of all time, the most influential, and he's still experimenting. He's still making mistakes.
Seeing this everywhere you look. You know, when I was a kid, I like never found my footing. I moved to New York, and I felt like, oh, I can do that thing that I wanted to do. Like that everyone said was impossible. That can be realized.
Right.
But it could probably only happen here. Marlon! But yeah, like, you know, my favorite movie, I think maybe it's my favorite movie, but Tom Hanks' Big.
Yeah, of course.
The story of the movie Big is he was a little kid who magically became big, became an adult, and he moved to New York City. And by maintaining his like childlike attitude, because he was a kid, he thrived here.
Yeah.
He thrived in New York. And he had this big apartment that he turned into his big playground. And for me, it was like, I looked at that movie the way one might look at a documentary. I was like, that's real. And then that's exactly what my life is right now. I'm like a grown-ass child that lives in this playground of a city, and I spend all my time in my office, which is just basically like an indoor playground. I don't know anywhere else that could be possible.
Besides your own stuff, what are some of your favorite things filmed in New York? Movies, like what else do you like set here?
I mean, I love like the 70s stuff, like the pulpy cop movies shot here, mid-90s New York City. Before this, they had to like make the city look beautiful, and it was just like a really raw where every single one of those movies from that whole generation, even the rom-coms, like If Lucy Fell, which is an amazing Sarah Jessica Parker movie from like 96 or something, they all start with these, what would now be a drone shot, but just these helicopter shots that, how you doing, that just show the city. I think there's just a degree of fuckery from a film perspective that you get away with back then that is no longer the case. And I think like technically now you can just make anything look perfect.
Right.
And then practically now, like, you'd have to shut down streets in the way you didn't have to back then.
Yeah.
So like there's a level of verite they were able to achieve with that genre that I think is like largely absent now, with the exception of like every movie that Josh and Ben Safdie make in New York City, which still captures that. Should we go to that?
Okay. Well, that's just an introduction into Casey, if you are unaware of Casey. Before we go, I want to share one other thing in terms of my own planning here. I was going to show you my spreadsheet that I just created over the weekend that I'm using for planning. This is a spreadsheet that I've got on Google Sheets, and this is going to be the brains, the planning, the heart and soul of my content creation. This is something I've desperately needed, and it's a spreadsheet that shows my live streams, the dates, shows the titles. I've got a place here where I show the thumbnails. I've got this entire week pretty much planned out, and so I know in terms of content what I'm going to be doing in terms of the live streams. And then I've got places here where I will add other long form, and you can see the 3 channels are over here. Anytime I want to create a video for a channel, I'll just stick it here in the spreadsheet and put the dates, put the main topic or idea. I've got the thumbnail concept or idea, and then a place where I can put a image of the thumbnail once I've created it. And I've got a place here for the title and the publishing dates and all of that stuff. And then I've got a place for my schedule. Where is it? My weekly schedule. And a place to generate ideas. Now, I've not used this yet, but this is a place where I can brainstorm, where I can add content ideas. And I can just sit here for an hour and try to come up with some video ideas. It's a good idea to write ideas down, come up with ideas on a regular basis. You want to try to generate as many ideas as you can each day. Some people try to set a goal and say they're going to create 10 ideas a day. If you sit down and commit to coming up with 10 video ideas a day, that's 70 videos a week. Somewhere around 280 to 300 ideas a month. Now, a lot of them will be crap. A lot of the ideas won't be any good. But you have a list of 300 videos each month that you can go through and decide, okay, this is going to be a good idea. And so it's a good idea to try to brain dump every day. And I've got that spreadsheet to help me do that, where I can go there and start writing down and keep track of the ideas that I come across. And that's going to be something that we'll cover later on is next week. Next week's theme is going to be how to come up with video ideas. This week we're talking about the 5 laws of content creation. And then next week, Thanksgiving week, we're going to talk about each day. We're going to talk about some ideas, some ways to come up with video ideas, practical ways. So hope you'll come back and join us then. Well, let's see. How are we doing on time? It's an hour. We've been going at this now for an hour and 15 minutes. I guess it's time for me to shut her down. And I do appreciate you coming along, for dropping in. And I'll be back here tomorrow morning, same time, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we'll have another day of just hanging out, talking social media and talking YouTube and talking about our experience as we move forward to try to build these channels. I've got 3 channels I need to monetize, so I've got a lot of work to do, and I hope you come along for the ride. All right. I guess we are done. Until I see you again tomorrow, I'm over and out.
Thanks for watching. See you again soon.
And when you ba-da-ba-da-ba